Sliding filament race game. This game was made to help you better understand how a muscle contracts at the level of the sarcomere at a very biochemical level. Let's set the game up. You're going to need a large whiteboard and then the magnetic myosin and actin pieces that come with the game set. This is a 2-player game. Set up the whiteboard as shown. That's supposed to represent a sarcomere. Decide who's going to be player 1 and who's going to be player 2 and sit across from one another. Player 1 is blue, player 2 is yellow. Each player needs a game card and a baggie that contains game pieces. Take a moment to make sure that your bag contains all the contents listed on the cover. Pause the video and check. Your game setup should look like this picture. Sarcomere in the center, and again, you're sitting across from one another. The object of the game is to be the first player to move the actin to the middle of the sarcomere. For a sarcomere to shorten, it requires energy. ATP is going to be the molecule to give the energy to the sarcomere. When ATP becomes ADP, that little inorganic phosphate, or PI bead, actually carries the joule of energy to the myosin. When myosin acquires enough joules of energy from the ATP, the actin can be pushed to the center. Okay, let's get ready to play. Start by unpacking the 3 petri dishes. 2 petri dishes will go on the blue and yellow circles on your card, and 1 petri dish will just simply be placed at the top. Place 14 ATP beads, there it should be in beads of 3, and 14 joules in the blue left ATP petri dish. You will find detailed directions how to play. I'm just going to go over briefly how to play the game. Both players should have 14 ATPs and 14 joules, and you're going to transfer these to the myosin in a very specific way. When and if you're able to move, you need to move both your actin pieces towards the center. Here's what I mean by that. If you're able to move, you will move both the left and the right actin piece toward the center. Players will take turns. The youngest player goes first. When it's your turn, you have 3 steps you must complete before your turn is over. Step 1, roll 1 of the dice. Step 2, provide myosin with energy if that roll allows you to do so. Let's say you roll a 2. That allows you, if you have them available, to transfer 2 ATPs worth of energy to the myosin. Pop off 1 of the beads, that's the inorganic phosphate, and transfer it to the myosin. ADP is what's remaining, and that goes in the yellow dish. You get a second ATP since you rolled a 2, pop off the inorganic phosphate, and the ADP goes back in the petri dish. Along with those inorganic phosphate beads, you get 2 joules of energy transferred to the myosin. The third step, you have to make a decision. Your choices are move, relax, or regenerate ATP. If you decide to move, you have to roll 2 dice. If the roll is less than or equal to the number of joules on your myosin game card, then you can move the actin 1 notch towards the middle. You must remove the single beads and the joules from the game card and place in that third kind of disposal petri dish. B says if the roll is greater than the number of joules on the myosin game card, then you may not move the actin pieces towards the center, and you get penalized. You have to remove 3 joules along with 3 single beads and place those in that third petri dish. Let's go back to our example. I have 2 joules. Oh, I roll a 4. My roll was greater than the number of joules, so I can't move, and I have to remove 3 joules along with 3 single beads. I don't have that many, so I guess I have to wipe all of them off of my board. I should have made a better choice. I should have chosen to relax. If you choose to relax, no dice are rolled and joules remain in place for the next round. A third choice would be to regenerate ATP. If you don't have any ATP, you just have a ton of ADP, choose this. You roll 2 dice, and that will tell you how many ATP you can regenerate. You simply pop a single bead back onto an ADP to get ATP. Regenerated ATP go in the blue dish, and the joules of energy, remember 1 joule per ATP, also go back into the blue dish for the next round. Next player goes, and you repeat steps 1 through 3. Roll a dice, set up your myosin, and then make a great decision, help you get to the center of the sarcomere the fastest.